The late Dr. Anton Rupert's Foundation has assisted government to establish a network of trans-frontier conservation areas across Southern Africa. Following on the success of establishing trans-frontier conservation areas, 9 governments have decided to take trans-frontier conservation areas to the next level in promoting them as premier tourist and investment destinations in the region. Boundless Southern Africa was born. Join us for an exploration of these diverse Southern African trans-frontier conservation areas, each one unique, exciting, and striking in its offering. A vast mountain desert, an abundance of unique and exquisite desert flora. Here, life shifts like the sands and settles in even more fascinating formations. The park straddles the borders of Namibia and South Africa and consists of the Ice National Park in Namibia and the Richtersveld National Park, a World Heritage Site in South Africa. The Fish River Canyon, the second largest canyon in the world, is one of the most impressive natural beauties in the southern part of Namibia. Wander through just a part of the park and you'll be mesmerized by spectacular arid and desert mountain scenery, an unusual primeval landscape. The impressive Orange River offers days of relaxation, visual beauty, and incredible sunsets. Sometimes the only way to survive is to adapt, and here is home to an abundance of diverse succulent plants. The hand of God and heart of man embodied in the creation of nature. A unique African landscape, a wilderness of rugged splendor. The largest expanse of continuous sand mass in the world, the place of thirst. Shimmering heat and sand stretching beyond the horizon. The Kalahari Transfrontier Park consists of the former Gemsbok National Park in Botswana and the former Kalahari Gemsbok National Park in South Africa. Some of the original inhabitants still live in and around the park. Hunters and gatherers known for their music, dancing, and vast knowledge of local flora and fauna. This is paradise at its most extreme, harsh and beautiful. Out here in the middle of this extraordinary landscape, nothing else counts. No expectation, no ego, no pressure. What at first seems empty is in fact full of life. There is no better place to be in than the middle of the Kalahari Desert. The world's largest conservation area, home to the breathtaking Victoria Falls, remarkable biological diversity, distinctive landscapes, and captivating indigenous cultures. Kavango Zambezi, situated in the Okavango and Zambezi river basins, where the borders of Angola, Botswana, Namibia, Zambia, and Zimbabwe converge. The Okavango Delta, the largest inland delta in the world, is a labyrinth of lagoons, lakes, and hidden channels. Trapped in the parched Kalahari sand, it is a magnet for the wildlife that depends on the delta's water. Moving, mysterious, placid, gentle, and beautiful. From a wide and winding channel, it spreads through tiny, almost unnoticeable tributaries that creep away behind a wall of papyrus reed into an ever-expanding network of increasingly smaller passages. These link a succession of lagoons and islands of various sizes to open grasslands and flooded plains in a mosaic of land and water. Kavango Zambezi will connect protected areas, creating pathways for the natural migration of the largest neighboring population of elephants on the African continent and all the creatures that follow. The roar of the falls silences the mind. This giant conservation area will join 36 proclaimed national parks, game and forest reserves, as well as game and wildlife management areas, including Chobe National Park, the Caprivi Strip, Luyana Reserve, Kafue National Park, and Hwange National Park, to name but a few. Spanning conservation areas of 5 countries, Kavango Zambezi offers incredible cultural diversity and charm. Here, life twists and turns like a river trying to find the sea. Walk amongst giants, elephants, ancient baobabs, and sandstone outcrops. Vast and hauntingly beautiful, at the confluence of the Limpopo and Shashe rivers, 3 countries meet: Botswana, South Africa, and Zimbabwe. There's something primal about Limpopo Shashe and everything in it, as if you've entered a land that time forgot. Spectacular scenery, superb Mopane savanna that shows no sign of human habitation or encroachment. Majestic rivers and the famous Thuli elephants, the largest elephant population on privately owned land in Africa. Stone and Iron Age archaeological sites and evidence of an ancient African civilization. The golden rhino lay forgotten for several centuries until its chance discovery in 1933. It represents a flourishing Iron Age metropolis on the banks of the Limpopo River that was ruled by an African king almost 1,000 years ago. You can learn a lot in the wild, especially about mankind. The abundance of life in the Great Limpopo Transfrontier Park is both overwhelming and glorious. The park links a number of national parks in Mozambique, South Africa, and Zimbabwe. The world's greatest animal kingdom, where every animal is beautiful. But to see so many creatures together is awe-inspiring. The Great Limpopo Transfrontier Park is a world-class ecotourism destination with a vision to increase community involvement in conservation and tourism. This objective is aligned to one of the main goals in the establishment of a transfrontier conservation area, in that local communities should benefit from increased visitor numbers in support of conservation goals. This, in turn, is dependent on community participation in the development of the park. When you see all of this, you let Africa into your heart. The beauty of all time stretches out on the savannah, churns in waves, rolls through the hills, rises in swamps, and lies belly up beneath the sun. Lubombo consists of 5 smaller transfrontier conservation areas joined together by the Lubombo Mountains in Mozambique, South Africa, and Swaziland. When you explore the diverse ecosystems of Lubombo, you get a greater sense of the magnitude of creation. Kings, warriors, archaeological finds, lush mountain scenery, 8-day dancing ceremonies, ruins, sacred forests, rich in culture and tradition, and an array of wildlife and birds. When you're at the home of warriors, you stand a little taller yourself. The Pongola Poort Dam links the mountains of Swaziland to the undulating terrain of KwaZulu in South Africa. Lubombo links the Maputo Special Reserve in Mozambique and the Tembe Elephant Park in South Africa, reuniting this ancient elephant population that used to move freely between Mozambique and South Africa. The Isimangaliso Wetland Park, the largest estuarine system in Africa, embraces 5 ecosystems: marine, coastal dunes, lakes, swamps and woodlands. To experience any one of them is extraordinary. To explore all 5, astonishing. The Mozambican and KwaZulu-Natal coastline, hundreds of kilometers of unspoilt beaches with a startling array of marine life, shallow pools and rock ledges for snorkeling and scuba diving. A place for adventure and alluring tranquility. Spectacular mountains, dramatic escarpments. To be present amidst such majesty is to feel more alive than ever. Lesotho and South Africa, joined together by the Maluti and Drakensberg Mountains. Significant catchment area, sustaining diverse forms of life. Notably, the endangered bearded vulture that seeks sanctuary in these dramatic mountains. The Maluti Drakensberg is a world of botanical opulence, an Eden of beautiful and rare plants. The people of the mountains, the Basotho nation, arts, crafts, folklore, told in riddles and fables. Weave cone-shaped grass hats, the national symbol. The legacy of the San, through their rock art, the largest outdoor gallery in the world. When we go back to our origins, we see how far we have come. Ukahlamba Drakensberg, a World Heritage Site. To be in the presence of such grandeur is to feel both humbled and blessed.